not sure if my headset's working. I think the computer speaker is working, which means it's not going to sound as good as it ought to. But if you can hear me, I guess that's good enough, because this is public live stream for this month, and I'm trying to get it in. So, hello out there. Can you hear me? Anybody out there? I can see there are some people watching, so please be brave and put in the chat whether you can hear me or not. And if you can't hear me, obviously, that must be why you're not saying anything. 4th of July stream. If any of you folks are from the past tense United States, North American part of the earth, then you will know that this is some sort of holiday. And being that this is a live stream, figured I might as well just do a little grammar lesson for you, because the 4th of July is also known as Independence Day. So, just off the top of my head, just thinking about the word independence, I see two particles of negation right off rip. IN is a particle of negation, and DE is a particle of negation. But don't take my word for it. Let's go into a continuance of the evidence to find out what independence means in the fiction system itself. Independence is a noun, so that's our first clue that it is tangible contract. 1630s, fact of not depending on others or another, self-support and self-government. See independent plus ENCE. And there you go, the U.S. Independence Day, July 4th, commemorating events of 1776. It's recorded under that name by 1791. Old English word for it was selfdom, with self plus DOM, law. But this form is closer to privilege. PRI, got to be careful of that one. That can be a particle of negation in some instances. But anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about, independent. So my guess is that ENCE means contract. Does it? See, ants. Word forming element of or state of quality, yes. So yes, and ENCE is contract. So ENCE is a contract with independent. And looking at independent, no pendant. No pending contract. Well, let's go further into independent. Let's see what that means. So we have in, which means not, opposite of. NE, not. So that's a no. As I said at the beginning, it's a particle of negation. So there's the first particle of negation in front of dependent. Now let's go into dependent. DE is a particle of negation. Let's see. Down from, off, away. That gives negative vibes. So the opposite of, undo, definitely not. So DE is no. And then the next particle is pen. To draw, stretch, spin. So no drawing, no stretching, no spinning, contract. Where's the DENT? So we have the pen, but where's the dent? For spelling, see dependent. Okay, so let's follow this thread. Action growing out of another action. So ant and ants mean the same thing. Ants is contract, word forming element, yeah. So of like equality, etc., etc. So it's just another contract word. So what have we learned? No drawing, stretching, spinning, contract, but it's also no to that. So it's a double negative. So independence might as well just look like this. Nothing. That's what your Independence Day means, folks. Okay? Any questions out there? Any questions about what I just showed you about the word independence and its complete avoidance of relevant meaning to a correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, construct? Hard one, POW one. Welcome in. Do you have any questions about anything? Are you familiar with correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar? And if so, where are you at with it? Are you interested in it? Thanks for being here. You know, fireworks are pretty, folks. Make lots of loud noises. I'd have to say, you know, it's probably pretty tough for veterans who have been in the theater, actually participated in the theater of war, to deal with shit like that. Things that sound like gunfire and artillery fire. And I mean, what other reason would there be for those fireworks, for celebrating? You can have fireworks that don't make those noises, you know, if you wanted to. And, you know, it could be me just being old and up in my ears, but I'm not a fan of fireworks just because of the animals, my house companions in my house. I have 4 cats and 2 dogs and 1 scarlet macaw, and they were completely terrified. Didn't know what was going on, you know. On one hand, it was a great bonding experience because they were all around me and because they looked to me to protect them or to guard them, which of course I would do with my life. There's no doubt about it that I value, you know, my home companions more so than I value a lot of humans out there walking around. So I absolutely love this. I'm all for real sovereignty and freedom. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's look up the word sovereignty, because this word is, shall we say, bandied about. And I don't think folks really know what it means. I think everyone has their own personal viewpoint of what it means. But when you really get down to brass tacks in the origins of language and things like that, sovereignty basically means, and you can look this up, which we may look up in a minute here, but sovereignty basically means that you, if you claim to be a sovereign, that you produce your own money that has value, you produce your own fuel, you don't rely on anyone else for your own fuel, your own money, you have your own land, and therefore, to protect all of these things, these assets, you would have your own militia, your own army, your own armaments to be able to protect with force when you need to. If you don't have all those things, then you're not a sovereign. And you can't be a sovereign. Because a sovereign, like you see, a sovereign country, theoretically, in the context of the fiction system, for example, Russia would be considered a sovereign country because it produces all of, it's self-sufficient. Basically, that's what it means. Is you're completely self-sufficient with no dependency, to use that word, that fiction term we just looked up, with no reliance. Again, that's no contract. What would you say? How could you term that incorrect sentence structure using a word with no particle negation in it? Let's find out. You don't count on anyone else for anything. Any other country, nothing. Okay? That means you're sovereign. So I'm pretty sure Russia doesn't need anyone else for anything. Same thing with China. China is self-sufficient. It's a sovereign country. As an individual, are you sovereign? Do you have to participate with gas stations and stores, or do you have your own piece of land that you aren't beholden to any entity for taxes? You make your own currency that has value to other people that you can buy things from if you need them? Do you have to get fuel from a gas station, or do you have your own fuel on your own property that you know, drill for or whatever, or use? See what I mean? Like, is the United States, the past tense United States, is it actually a sovereign country anymore? Or is it too dependent upon outside stuff coming in? Like, if we had to cut off everything from other countries, imports, just totally cut them off, would we be self-sufficient? Or would everything just fall apart more so than it's already falling apart? Well, that's what I mean. Is it your mountain? Do you have any connection with the fiction system at all? Do you pay property taxes? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have electricity from the fiction system coming to your place? Do you have water coming from the fiction? Do you have sewage? Do you go to a store to buy groceries from the fiction system? You see? I don't think there's anyone that can be living in North America who is sovereign. It's just not possible. There are people that are close to it that we call off-gridders, who grow their own food, have as little to do with the fiction system as possible. And you know what? An interesting thing is, if you do that, if you cut yourself off from the grid and try to rely on as little as possible upon the fiction system will come looking for you eventually and say, hey, why aren't you participating the way these other people are? And then they start to give you problems, which is great for using correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, because then you can stop the trespass of the fiction system. But that's a whole nother ball of wax, because learning correct sentence structure is probably one of the most difficult things, challenging intellectual things that a human being could possibly do. Psychologically, intellectually, it's very challenging. Very few people actually do it. The 1% of the 1% of the 1%. People will come up with all sorts of reasons why they can't do it. Think about it though, folks. Contract is by consent. Everything that's happening in your life, you do have a say in. You have a choice. Every day you choose. And if you choose to learn this, nothing will stand in your way in learning it. Doesn't matter what's going on. Just like anything else. It's all about priorities. Anyways, let's look up sovereign. In correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, the basic premise is one and one is one. One word, one meaning, one congruency, one format, one function. If you have a word like fact, or no, actually a better example would be, I use this in another video, a word like can. In your correct sentence structure contracts, it would only have one meaning across every contract. If you had 100 contracts, can would mean the same thing on every single contract. You would not change the meaning. It could not have two meanings. Every word in correct sentence structure has one meaning and one meaning only. And that's the power of it. It is what it is. All right, sovereignty. You can add that, but whatever. So it's a noun, tangible contract, green flag for tangibility, preeminence, excellence, superiority, authority, rules, supremacy of power or rank. From sovereign, blah, blah, blah. Superior, ruler, master, one who is superior or has power over another. sovereign lord ruler, highest supreme chief, king or a queen. Just reading that leaves a bad taste in my psyche. I don't want to be a ruler. I don't want to be a king. What kind of ego would you have to want to do that? Seriously. It's not me. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool, whatever. And I'm sure you can find people to follow you that will call you king and feed your ego like that. But I'm about rule one, rule equal. Okay? Sovereign is not, see, violation of rule one, rule equal. From super, over something. So I don't want to be over anyone or under. I just want to be on a geometric level playing field of contract. I don't want to be supreme. So in that sense, this is actually a particle of negation. This right here, if you go by this, the Proto-Indo-European root, over is a particle of negation. Because you're not here, you're over. Myself is who this pertains to. What is the self? Old English self, one's own person, self, own, personal, same, identical, from Proto-Germanic, selbas, Old Norse, Dutch, German, Gothic, Proto-Germanic, from Pi root, SEL. Ooh, hold on a minute here. Let me look this up here. Self is one of those particles that walks a very thin line between tangibility and non-tangibility. Let me show you folks, what I mean. Is anyone else here a student of correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax, grammar of at least 75% knowledge level or more? Does anybody know? Because you'll know what I'm talking about when I talk about tangibility and non-tangibility. So you see here, we have self, pronoun, noun, adjective. That gives the tangibility flag, right? The green flag for tangibility. Plus, I know what self means to me when I say, in the fiction, adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble, I say myself. I know what that means. When I say to myself, self, what does self mean? I know what I'm talking about, right? But you see that repeatedly, over and over, it gives itself to give closure to itself. I keep saying that word, but I have no other way to articulate it at this point. So Proto-Indo-European root actually means self. So that's a red flag for non-tangibility. So isn't that interesting? So a person could actually, an individual, a man or a woman, a human, could syntax the word self in a non-tangible fashion, and I wouldn't, if they knew what they were doing, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But then again, if they syntax it as tangible, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it either. Why? Because, folks, the very important principle of the balance of the honor and the grace. For the same reason, we don't or wouldn't credential proper names that start with a vowel followed by a consonant, like Andy. We wouldn't say that's a particle of negation because it's a name, for Odin's sake. It's a name. So why are you going to give someone an issue about their name? Okay? They probably didn't choose the name that they use. So that's the balance of the honor and the grace. So if someone syntaxes it as tangible, I would agree with them because that's how probably I would do it. Because that's how most people would probably view the word self, as tangible contract. But when you get into it, you see that it's got it leans more towards the non-tangibility. And this is the the complexity that can happen with correct sentence structure. You got to do your work. You got to look it up, everything. I do not rule you. No shit. I agree. Say, Rin, ruler, princely, supreme, royal, 3 self, 6 soul, 9 oversoul. Bro, I don't know where you're going with that. I have no idea what that has to do with correct sentence structure. Just add ish. Ish is contract, Bernard. Ish is another one of those contract words. Like, the suffix tacked on at the end. That's what DAVID-WYNN Miller would refer to as a contract word. You have a contract with something, or it has a contract with the particles that precede it on the larboard side, or in modern times, as we call it, the port side. Preceding it on the port side, the contract add-on particle would come on the starboard side, because we read from port side to starboard side, left to right, if you want to be rudimentary about it. The context that's used in, for sure. Again, it's up to you, the meaning that you assign to words. With correct sentence structure, if you're going to make a grammatically correct contract and have all those things in place, your correct live claim, correct grammar, banking mechanics, flag mechanics, postal mechanics, all those things in order, then you have to have a contractual dictionary or concordance. And if you're going to contract with me, I'm going to have to agree with your terms. And if I don't agree with what you mean by sovereign, then we're just either we're not going to contract, or you and I are going to have to come to an accord about the meaning of that word in our contract. That's how contract works. Contract is by consent. I personally do not participate with the word sovereign. I don't need it. I'm fine with the word authority. I'm fine with the word autonomy. I have closure on those things, and I have them in my correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar dictionary, co-dictionary, which there's over 2,000 terms written in correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar in my co-dictionary. I'll give you a little glimpse of it, okay? So look, here's the authors of the dictionary. That's my tutor, Raven Edwin Farhad, Heaven Tohidi, Afarin, brother, friend. I've known him since 2017, and in the latter part of 2017 and through the year 2018, he was the one that taught me this technology, along with David-WYNN Miller. And this is what it looks like. These are all written in correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar technology. He and I authored this dictionary. And here's why you would create your own dictionary. Because if you use another dictionary, like, for example, this Dictionary of Economics, if I use the definitions in this dictionary in a contract, I have given authority to John Black. This dictionary is now the authority of what I'm doing. Why is that? Well, think of the word authority. What's the first part of that word? Author. Authority is author. I didn't author this. But the dictionary I just showed you, I authored it. So therefore, I have authority over those words. And this pertains to correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar specifically. You have to have your own dictionary. So people would ask me, hey, can you sell me that dictionary? Hell no. Do you know how much work went into that? If I was to sell it, I'd probably sell it for 33,000 troy ounces of silver. How about that? That's the price I would put on it. Say, oh, well, knowledge should be free. Well, it is. You can learn this grammar and create your own dictionary. Go do it. Don't be lazy. See my poor grammar, humble education. Now I know more. Well, again, hard one, POW one, education. In correct sentence structure, I use the word knowledge, the compound fact, knowledge-cultivation. Because education, ED, a vowel in front of a consonant at the beginning of the word is no contract in the domain of fact, in the domain of correct sentence structure. So I would use the word knowledge cultivation. Today I am using it. I reserve the right to use others in the future. Tony Montana reserves the right. So that means they no-serve the right. A chicken has a right to eat and a fox has a right to eat. That's enough said about rights. You're welcome. You're welcome. I am the one as king. Tony Montana, with the balance of the honor and the grace, this is what I think of kings. Can I purchase this book? Acknowledge, comprehend. Both of those words are no contract. AC, vowel in front of a consonant at the beginning of the word, and then comprehend, the particle of negation, PRE is in there, together with the no hending. Hard one, POW one. I totally honor your choice not to share your first name. Okay? I understand a lot of folks kind of hesitant to come out on the internet like this and show their face and their name. I know that when I did that in 2018, I was very nervous, actually. But it's so refreshing to do it, for me, to do it, because I'll take the Pepsi challenge with anyone. I don't have to be anonymous. Everything that I do in the confidential is something that I would do in the public. I perform the same. Well, geez, we've never met, hard one, POW one, but it seems like you know me already. All right, 36 minutes. Let's try and go about 42 minutes, and then I'll pull this to a close. Hey, do any of you folks out there have any grammar questions for me? Any burning questions about correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar? Steve, thank you, Steve. Shaka. I appreciate that. Much honor and grace for the courage, or whatever, to share your name. Steve, I will try very hard to. Hey, Steve, if you're interested in learning correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, of course, there are over 1,300 free videos on this channel. My gift to you. I've been putting content on this channel since 2018, February. Also since 2018, in February of that year, I've been teaching it in personal 1-hour workshops, which you can apply for if you email me at jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com. That email address will be in the description of this video. Just send me an email, please. Use your full correct name so I know who you are and I know that you're willing to take authority over your words. Now, keep in mind, this is in the confidential. Okay, so you're just sharing your name with me. I would not share it with anyone else. And then what I would do is I would set up a 10 to 15 minute video consultation where I can see you, you can see me, and then you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'll do the same. And we'll see if you're a good candidate for learning this, because not everybody is cut out to learn this. Although everybody can learn it if they choose, Not everybody's cut out for it. And certainly there are certain types of individuals that I don't want to teach, that have certain types of attitudes. Um, all right. Harry hyphen Charles Rookslow in the house. Thank you so much for that donation, Harry. You know what? Because Harry did that, I think I'm going to send out 5 gifted subscriptions to 5 random folks. Thank you very much, Harry. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the. I am the one. Okay, we already saw that. Yes, you're welcome. I'm looking for a better teacher so I can claim my own claim. Yes, thank you. I've seen a few of your YouTube posts. Well, I got thousands of videos up there for you. If you want to teach the sum total of my correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, knowledge is here in the public on this channel, free. It's free. Everything I teach in the confidential workshops is here on this channel. So you can theoretically teach yourself. Now, in a practical sense, I will say that very few people can do that. Very few people possess the focus and the drive to do that. That's why I offer the confidential workshops where you would come to me and I would be your teacher and your guide. And it would just be one-on-one. And I have an entire curriculum. I've been doing this for 9+ years. To hundreds of folks all over the earth. Explain Russell's 250 claim purchases. I think you're referring to the Live Life claim. And, I can't make a claim for anyone else. If you want to know why they charge $250 for those, you'd have to ask them. I have nothing to do with that. Personally, I find it detestable. I find it disgusting and repulsive that anyone would charge money for a Live Life claim. That's low-level bullshit. But that's my opinion. Okay, people can charge whatever they want to charge for whatever they want to charge it for. If people are dumb enough or gullible enough to spend money on that bullshit, then that's their choice. Really, it is. If you've ever been ripped off or taken advantage of, it's not anyone's fault but your own. And I apply that to myself because I've been ripped off lots of times. And it really taught me a valuable lesson to vet everyone I contract with. And I will tell you right now, Steve, you can create your own Live Life claim. You just have to learn the grammar and do it. Because if you're the authority of your construct, you would then, of course, be the author of your Live Life claim. And you can just create it yourself. You just have to learn how to do it. And you can learn the grammar right here on this channel. Hi, Jason. I want to make peace with you. I have been following your teaching since the beginning. I am not a troll, and I'm sad about your video about me saying my intention to make a video malicious. Oh, Jason. I'm always at peace, bro. Okay? And I don't think I ever said that your volition was malicious. I just said that you knew what you were doing when you made that video. I also was saying that you knew that what you were putting out there was not your work, it was the work of AI. And that I detest AI. I find it disgusting. And I don't want nothing to do with it. And it was just knowing what I know about you and the type of individual you are, you seem like a good guy. Why you wouldn't come to me and say, hey, Jason, do you mind if I do this with your material, if I run it through an AI thing? because I would have said to you, yes, I do mind. I don't like AI at all. However, if this is what you want to do, I can't stop you. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to file a copyright strike or any bullshit like that. I'm just telling you, AI is ass. AI is creating an even lazier society than already is here. But that's my stance on it. I don't think I ever said you were malicious. And then Steely Dan sent it off in a letter to yourself. Steely Dan, huh? Steve, do you know where the name Steely Dan came from? By the way, I love Steely Dan. I love Asia, my favorite record. The production on that is stupendous. And boy, if you're a musician, if you can play Steely Dan, you're up there, buddy. I love Steely Dan. I learned Deacon Blues one time on guitar. Wow, it was so hard. The chords were so crazy. I used to play it and sing it. Ah, I said I wanted to go 42 minutes, and look at us. We're overtime. But hey, I appreciate this community, you know. I appreciate people being here, participating. You know, I think this has been such a cool stream with this community that I'm going to send 5 more gifted subs out. Alrighty then, I hope everybody has a safe holiday. If you celebrate. Right now where I'm at, it's dark and stormy and humid as hell. It's very hot. I'm going to let you split. Thank you for all the knowledge, and I want to come back for more. Thanks for everyone that showed up. Thank you for showing up, Steve. I appreciate it. And again, if you have any grammar questions, jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll tell you that I can't. And if you want to learn this, same email address. Hit me up, and we'll figure it out. Thanks for coming. XR4 Jersey says, I made several videos about the grammar in the past. I don't have the capacity to teach it, and I know AI cannot perform it. I hope you can forgive me for feeding it your work. Oh, no, man. Jason, please, let me make it clear to you. There is no forgiveness. It is what it is. It happened. And if you are genuinely, if you feel bad about it, then forget it. It's cool. It is what it is. We can move on without, I don't hold grudges like that, especially with someone like you who's speaking the way you're speaking. I can see that you're genuine about it, and there's no forgiveness necessary, man. And it doesn't even matter to me whether you take the videos up or leave them, take them down or leave them up. It doesn't, they don't hurt me. My only concern was the folks that would watch them. It's not given the right data. You know what I mean? The correct stuff. It's not giving it. Like much of AI. It gives you some of it, but then it gives you some bullshit too. And if you don't know what it is you're asking it, then how do you know what's right and what's wrong? So you see how confusing it can get. That was my issue with it. That's it. And personally, there is no issue with you, Jason. We're good. We're good, man. Wow, I think we got enough material here where I can leave this up in the members section so that the members can view it unedited. And I think I'm going to take some stuff out of it and put it in the public in an edited, condensed form. I think we got a lot of good stuff on here, especially the stuff at the beginning. about Independence Day and sovereignty and stuff like that. I appreciate everybody being here, and we'll do it again next time. Oh, I would be negligent if I didn't tell you all about the course that I've started offering on this channel. See here, you're on my home page. Go through these tabs. Courses. If you want to take the course, the idea behind the course is that I'm going to make videos, usually a half hour to an hour long, teaching correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar from the ground up. Done in a way that has never been done before on the internet, in a very comprehensive step-by-step method. It's going to be done in such a way that you don't have to see me, you just listen in your headphones and you can learn it that way. So far, I think I put up 2 courses, 2 installments, but I'm also adding supplemental material to it from the 1,300 plus videos on my channel for those that want to study a little bit more. It's a tier 3 membership. If you want to take the course, you would just click on one of the videos and then pick tier 3 membership and then do what you got to do to become a member, and then you would have full access to all these videos. I'm going to keep making these videos for as long as it takes until I'm done, which I think will probably be about 6 months to a year. And then when I'm done and finished, then I'm probably going to delete that level of membership, take all the videos, bundle them into a course, and then sell them online in a package on a website or something. That's the vision I have. Now, try not to get your panties in a bunch, because again, everything I teach in this course, this tier 3 membership, is available for free on this YouTube channel already in the 1,300 videos. It's just not in a chronological order. It's up to you to figure that out. I put the knowledge there, you have to make sense of it. Whereas with the course, I'm giving the knowledge and the chronology, and I'm making sense of it for you. You see what I'm saying? Hence, that's why there's a value attached to it. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate you being here. Again, if you want to watch this video unedited, just join the membership. I appreciate your support. And if you want to see a condensed version of it, stay tuned. I'll probably have it out in the next week or so. Thanks everybody who showed up. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bernard. I appreciate your input as well. And I think that's all the folks that were in the comments field. Oh, and Jason, thank you very much for coming in and straightening that out. Again, man, no hard feelings at all. I appreciate you coming here. Wow. You know what, Harry? I bet you would. Because that's the kind of guy you are. I bet you would. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I mean, Harry is totally cognizant and comprehending of the rule 1, rule equal. What you put in is what you get out. And I think he's finding that out every day, walking in and out of courtrooms and things like that, like what this stuff can actually do. And I'll put this out here right now. If any of you folks over there, Jason, you're in the chat included. I don't think Harry would mind me saying this. Harry can teach you this stuff. And he can teach it to you face to face. Over there, across the pond. All right? All right. Thank you. Peace. Caveat emptor. Que sera, sera, etc., etc.